Here we go.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
All right, everybody, we're back. Brian Engelman listening to all the stuff that Zach Baris just had to tell us about the Las Vegas Raiders. Check out the show in the archives or subscribe, youtube.com/The New American Media or at thenewamericanmedia.com. Zach can be found on Twitter at ZBaris. That's Z-B-A-R-I-S. Zach, let's talk. We just talked all that Raiders stuff. Now let's switch gears to the Cavaliers, who you called unwatchable. Tell me what's going on in Cavalier land.
Well, they're unwatchable, I'll tell you that. They stink.
Why?
They're not playing any. They're not playing any defense. They're literally. The other night I was out and someone said, "Oh, let's watch the Cavs game. Leave on the Cavs game." And I said, "No." I said, "Turn on the NCAA tournament. This is Saturday night." I had no desire to go to the game. I'm literally wondering right now, is it even worth re-upping my playoff ticket? I'm debating about it. I've never had any reservations about it. I've never been convinced that they stink up until now, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is just a funk they're in and they're not trying right now. There is no reason they should be playing this badly. It doesn't make any sense to me. You have 3 stars on your team, 3 all-stars on your team, and you still have a top 3 player in the NBA in LeBron James. You have Kyrie Irving who's a top 10, top 15 player. You have Kevin Love who's a top 20, 25 player in the NBA. You have good role players. J.R. Smith is back. However, he's not playing like J.R. yet, and even when he was healthy at the beginning of the season, was not playing like J.R. Makes me incredibly nervous watching this team right now. They're not this bad. They're not. They have no reason to be playing this bad. They haven't been this bad in years. Since before LeBron was back, they haven't been this bad.
So what's
I'm afraid to
happening?
even turn on the game right now to even know what the score is. Last time I checked, they were down by 22.
Oh my God. Okay, so what's happening? Why?
Their defense is horrendous. I mean, they gave 125 points to the Wizards the other night at home.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you. I'm so frustrated with this. You know, between them playing like this, Arizona losing the other night. You know, I mean, I am as frustrated as can be. I'm extremely frustrated right now. I just don't get it.
Well, we can't blame it on Andrew Bogut. We can't blame it on Birdman.
You know what? They were the number 1 seed in the East before they had 58 seconds of Andrew Bogut. So if anybody who goes and blames the loss of Andrew Bogut on this losing streak, they played 58 seconds with the guy all season. They were playing great basketball at one point without him before we got him. There's no reason they should be playing like this. I don't expect it to continue. I have a feeling one night they're just going to turn on the switch.
How much of it is coaching?
It depends. Is Ty Lue not turning on a switch? Is this team purposely playing like this? I don't know what it is. LeBron's still putting up, big minutes. I just don't get it. I really don't. The defense has just been non-existent. Can they go and? I mean, here, let's be honest. 2 years ago, and last year, they defied everything which has never been done in the NBA before. A team starting out that poorly had never made the NBA Finals. A team with a rookie head coach had never made the NBA Finals. Well, what do you know? Both Steve Kerr and Dave Blatt were rookie head coaches and both made the NBA Finals in their first year. So they put that one to bed. They've literally put everything to bed. So any of these numbers and any of these stats that they keep reading out mean nothing to me. Ty Lue won, no interim head coach has ever won an NBA championship. Well, interim head coach won the NBA championship last year. So nothing that they say actually makes me believe any of these stats. It's just because it hasn't happened before, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen this year. The Cavaliers' defensive efficiency rating, I think they were 22nd in the league. And the last time a team worse than 10th won the NBA Finals, 2000, 2001, and, LA Lakers. Does it mean anything to me? No. The Cavaliers are down by 23 right now.
Ugh.
81-58.
58. Okay. 58.
I mean, they're horrible. They're horrible.
Okay, but why? How do we fix it? What is wrong? What is the deal? We don't know. We're never going to know.
I think literally they turn on a switch all of a sudden and it goes on, and that's all they need to do. I think they're perfectly capable of playing A+ basketball, and this is F-. This is a 0. This is literally not showing up.
A 0. Crap.
I mean, To get beat by 10 points by the Wizards on your home floor is a joke.
And you're worried.
What happened to the LeBron James and the team that came back to beat Washington 2 months ago? You know, when LeBron hit that game winner. When I don't even think Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love wasn't even playing that night. I mean, the Cavaliers have a lineup right now. Darren Williams in, Channing Frye, James Jones. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get why Tyronn Lue took Derek Williams out of the rotation all of a sudden. Makes no sense to me. Derek Williams is playing great. Suddenly he's pulled from the rotation. I just don't understand. Channing Frye's defense has been abysmal at best. They just look horrendous lately. I think they'll get it together, but it better happen soon. You know, the season's over in 2 weeks.
How in danger are we of losing that top spot, and does it matter?
Well, if they lose tonight, they're out of the top spot.
How many games left?
They don't control their own destiny anymore if they.
Yeah. Not a lot of games left. I mean, how important is it to have that number one spot?
I think it's important. I mean, it didn't matter 2 years ago to the Cavs. Did they still get there? They beat Atlanta in 4 in the Eastern Conference Championship. Yeah.
True. Had a little bit more trouble with Toronto.
I mean, I think if Cleveland's really trying, I don't really think it matters.
All right. Well, you got me worried.
I'm a little worried myself. It's the first time I've been worried in 3 years.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, then, all right, look, then we're just going to have to go ahead and make sure that we do another show so that we can get this horrible taste out of our mouths. Does that work? Maybe they'll turn it on by then?
I mean, let's hope they turn it on. I really hope they do, and I think with LeBron James, I don't see a first-round exit being on the horizon. It's LeBron.
Hold on. You're talking first-round exit, Zach?
I'm not saying, but if the way they're playing right now, they will get eliminated in the first round if they keep playing like this.
Okay. Well, crap. Now, then, all right. Then what's going to pick me up? How about the Indians? We excited about them a little bit?
I'm thrilled for the Indians.
Good. Let's end on something nice.
Brantley's been crushing it in spring training.
Yeah, I saw him knock one out the other day.
I'm a little worried because some guys have had some bad springs, at least the pitchers have. But again, it's not the end of the world. We see guys having all bad springs all the time. I'm not overly concerned.
I saw where some people are predicting a Cubs-Indians rematch. Does that seem realistic to you?
I mean, who's going to beat the Cubs in the NL? The Dodgers? No.
Dodgers always have a chance.
I don't think so, at least.
Yeah, probably.
The Dodgers know how to tank better than anyone. I mean, come playoff time.
Yeah.
The Dodgers every year manage to blow it in the playoffs. We witness it year after year with the Dodgers. I lived in L.A. I know how it is.
I know. My cousin is a huge Dodger fan, and she gets so upset at the end of the year.
I'd be upset too. I mean, it's sort of like, okay, Dodgers the sexy pick year after year, and you have all these great young prospects that always manage to come out mid-season, but it always seems like they're missing some piece. They're always missing the extra start. Like last year, they were down to Clayton Kershaw and Rich Hill. Rich Hill, come on. Rich Hill was great last year, but I mean, you're relying on some spot guys. The Indians have, the Indians were able, I mean, I don't even get how the Indians were able to make the World Series with the rotation. It was resiliency on their end. That they were able to take the Cubs into extra innings of Game 7 without your number 2 and 3 starter. Although Salazar did pitch in Game 7. However, he was only pitched an inning. It wasn't like Salazar started the game.
Yeah.
Which makes it different entirely. However, I love the Indians, what they did this offseason. They went and upgraded the team. They upgraded, Mike Napoli, and they turned in Edwin Encarnacion. I mean, let's just say Edwin Encarnacion has a year very similar to last year. And if Brantley can come back and be 2 years ago, Brantley, you've just added 2 massive bats to your lineup.
Yeah, of course it is. Brantley, man, he wasn't there pretty much all last year.
He played 11 games.
Yeah, he was the Andrew Bogut of our team.
If you get a healthy Brantley in there, I mean, I can only imagine how good the Indians would be if they had Brantley all year last year.
But then
Don't forget,
again,
it's the guy who finished in the top 5 of the MVP voting a year before.
that's true. Our main superstar offensively, some would say.
The only thing that worries me right now is Kipnis. However, Jose Ramirez will start the season at second base, and I would prefer Yandy Diaz to be at third. The guy can rate. And, if he gives you decent offensive production, okay, then you're fine. We'll keep this up. There'd be no need to rush him back. The Indians' offense can sustain Kipnis being out for a short period of time. At least I believe so. They managed to do it without Brantley last year. If Brantley's fine this year, I think they'll be okay. They've got a full year of Brandon Guyer this year, who was absolutely just fantastic for the Indians last year. His OPS, I believe, was over 900 in his time spent with the Indians. He's an on-base machine. I like what the Indians have done this season, adding Boone Logan. So you added Andrew Miller is not a lefty specialist. Andrew Miller is arguably the best setup man in baseball. Not arguably, he is.
Yeah, name me somebody better. I got nothing off the top of my head.
It's not even arguably. He's the best setup man in baseball. He's the best reliever. I mean, Zach Britton had an amazing year last year, too. But he was a closer. Andrew Miller's a setup man. But the thing with Andrew Miller is Andrew Miller could come in at any time and dominate. Cody Allen was fantastic during the playoffs, too. And then what do? You go and add Boone Logan. You add the lefty special the Indians need, so you don't have to waste Miller in the 7th inning against a string of 2 lefties that come in. You've got Boone Logan for that now.
Now, who was it, though?
You've got a guy who just eats left-handed pitching.
Who was it, though?
Who just eats left-handed hitters.
Who just got injured for us, though? It was one of our pitchers.
Cody Anderson. He's having Tommy John.
Yeah. How much is that going to hurt us?
I don't think too bad. It's just for depth. It's for deep depth. But, don't forget, he's not even your number 6 starter. Clevenger is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Don't forget, you've got Mike Clevenger, you've got Ryan Merritt, and you still have Zach McAllister as well. So you've got your 6, 7, 8 starters. Cody Allen is a fringe 7-8 guy. He's a AAA guy coming up to pitch a couple of games for you when needed. So I don't think it's a disaster losing Cody Anderson. Losing Cody Allen would spell disaster for the Tribe.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Last year during the playoffs. He's one of the big reasons they got to the World Series. He was dominant in the playoffs. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he was.
I would agree with that. But
he was fantastic.
He was able to toil in the shadows. He just did his thing, and it never got really flashy. And I don't think he needed
his numbers, when it all said and done, when the playoffs were over, were better than Miller's actually.
Right, and he did it quietly. I don't care. You don't have to be like Lonzo Ball. Hey, hold on. Tell me about this kid's father. Talk about the balls on this guy.
Big butthole brand.
Yeah. What do you make of all this? What is going on with this circus show?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Do I love Lonzo Ball as a player? Yes, I think he's incredible. I don't have any issues with Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, you don't hear him running his mouth, saying anything stupid. I haven't heard one stupid thing, one bad thing that's irritated me come out of Lonzo's mouth. And I'm saying Lonzo's I don't have a Lonzo Ball problem. I have a LeVar Ball problem. Lonzo Ball hasn't done anything to even – I love Lonzo Ball as a player. I think he's awesome. I love him on my team. He's so unselfish. He's a great player. I think he's fantastic. I think he's going to be a superstar. However, I don't think either one of his brothers is a true superstar. LiAngelo Ball is a 3-star recruit, and LaMelo doesn't play defense. He's a cherry picker. I can't stand the eyebrows with those kids either, with LaMelo and LiAngelo, with the weird eyebrows. Take a look if you want to see. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. You got an eyebrow problem with this one. Don't you eyeball me, kid.
No, but no, seriously, though, LeVar Ball needs to just stop running his mouth and let his kid play. Because he's going to wind up getting attacked in the NBA. People are going to put some hard fouls on him. The kid doesn't deserve it. He's a hell of a player. His dad just needs to shut up and stop promoting himself. Dude, did you see the video that got released of LeVar Ball playing a pickup game in a rec league? He got his ass kicked.
No. He was the guy that was going to win against Jordan one-on-one or something.
He wouldn't – against what, Michael Jordan's son? He still wouldn't beat Michael Jeffrey. He wouldn't even beat his son. He played at Illinois or wherever he played at, South Florida. I forgot where his son played, but he wouldn't even be that good. He stinks.
Yeah, look.
He $1 billion. He does not have the next. Lonzo Ball will be a great NBA player. I think he's a can't miss prospect when I say that. I think I think he has a great shot. I think his passing skills are off the charts. I like Fultz from Washington. I like Fultz a lot from Washington. I think he's a great player on a really crappy team. However, I think Lonzo Ball is that good. Lonzo Ball is probably the consensus number 2 overall pick behind Fultz. However, me just being me, I like Lonzo Ball.
Oh, you would take him at 1?
Depending on my team. All depends on my team.
Okay, so they're not necessarily a big talent gap. You're just saying how it
now,
fits
if I'm
in.
a team like Boston, I think I take Lonzo Ball.
And they get the second pick, or how does it? They have what pick now?
No. No. They own the Nets pick next year as well.
My Lord.
So, but they have this year they will swap their first round pick with the Nets. So Boston here, sitting here, getting better every year, and now they've got Jaylen Brown, who's a rookie, the number 3 overall pick. The best thing we can hope for is Boston to basically lose the lottery and wind up with the 4th overall pick. So they don't wind up with a guy like Fultz or Jackson from Kansas, or Marquez Fultz from Washington. That's hope. Keep your fingers crossed. But Boston already has a good, great point guard in Isaiah Thomas. They've got a great 2-guard, one of the best defensive players in Avery Bradley. They're going to have some work to do because, unlike most other teams, they get to showcase the rookies at the top. Don't forget, as a rookie, most of these kids get to play 25 to 35 minutes a night. That are the number 1 and number 2 overall pick. Here in that situation, it doesn't happen because they're on too good of a team. Boston doesn't have minutes to create for these rookies. They just don't.
So what are they going to do you think? Obviously,
I think Jaylen Brown will be a very good player in the league. I didn't love Jaylen Brown as a 3rd overall pick. However, I didn't really know who I loved at number 3 last year. I wasn't the biggest Chris Dunn fan. I didn't understand Chris Dunn's hype coming out of Providence. I liked him, but I just didn't understand the hype and the fact that he was almost traded straight up for Jimmy Butler. That I did not understand. I did not get that one from the standpoint, and luckily the Bulls didn't pull the trigger. That's a move I would never have understood if Chicago's willing to give up Jimmy Butler for an unproven Chris Dunn, for a point guard that played 3 years in college or 4 years in college. I just didn't understand it. I liked his potential, and I still do. However, do I think he'll become a superstar? No. I think Ben Simmons will be a superstar if he ever sees the court. I think Buddy Hield's playing much better now that he's in Sacramento. But don't forget, Buddy Hield's a guy that played 3 years in college too. His development's a lot further along than, or his ceiling's a lot further along than his potential, and the fact that he's not a 19-year-old kid. He's doing this at 21, 22 rather than at 19.
By the way, thanks for making me look up these guys, these kids and their eyebrows. It's like a Vanilla Ice nightmare. I don't know what they got going on.
You're literally wanting there to put, to color in the eyebrows with the Sharpie.
Yeah, no. I want
razor blade marks.
I want to have Anthony Davis's surgically removed and then graft some of that into where it's missing on these kids. That's what I'd like to do.
It makes me wonder what LA Mexican guy would think of this.
What would he think? Caller, you're live calling in from Inglewood, California.
I got the hiccups right now.
This is LA Sports Radio Guy, but my producer says you have the hiccups. LA Sports Radio Talk Show Guy, how you doing today?
If these guys get drafted by the Lakers.
Which one of the ball kids? Is that what you're saying? One of these kids come to the?
We got D'Angelo. We got LaMelo. I love it.
We need to practice a few of these and do entire segments and just release it. I think that'd be awesome.
Nothing will ever be good as the Kyrie Irving voice, though. The Kyrie Irving one.
Kyrie Irving. See, we get Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving. That's still my favorite one of all time, and I still just remember hearing that on the radio, and I remember just literally crying. I was laughing so hard.
Kobe Bryant and Kyrie Irving.
So I was doing a run over by the Grove in Pan Pacific Park, and I remember hearing that I was literally on a run, and hearing that on Max and Marcellus. I rewinded it, and I must have listened to it 10 times with the guy say Kyrie Irving. in the number one peak. Like, I just lost it.
And a character was made. A character was born. Man, so, God, I got to talk about it again, though. I mean, how wonderful has that worked out for the Boston Celtics? Wow, they get 2 years of the Nets pick. I was reading up on that and went, oh, my Lord.
I think it's 3. I think they have it again next year.
Whatever it is, man. It's intense. It's, it doesn't make you feel good when the Cavs are losing by 30, 20, whatever it is.
No, it does not.
No. All right, let's spin over to this, and we'll wrap today up, Zach. Final Four. Obviously, we've waited all year for this. What have you seen throughout the tournament?
Posted on the sports page in the Unhappy Hour, and I'll be the first one to tell you. Remember when we had this conversation? You're like, you think you picked a good bracket? I don't know. Who knows? Everybody's wrong every year. It's a total crapshoot. Not one of my Final Four picks is even in it.
Who was your
final? Arizona, Kansas, I had Arizona, Villanova, Kansas, and UCLA with an Arizona-Kansas final with Arizona beating Kansas. And every year, I pick Arizona to win it all. And every year, come the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, I go, there's no way this team would ever beat Kansas or they would beat North Carolina. Ever. They're not that good. They've got plenty of NBA talent. Yet, in the tournament, they managed to let me down every single year. They let me down every single year in the tournament. And I knew they weren't going to win it. I thought they could because, I like Lauri Markkanen. I like Alonzo Trier. I think they have some great talent. And when they're on, they're almost unbeatable. We witnessed them in the Pac-12 tournament. I said, this is the year Sean Miller finally gets past this. He won the Pac-12 tournament. He beat, don't forget, they beat Oregon. They beat UCLA. Oregon's the Final Four team, and they beat UCLA. They played very well in the Pac-12 tournament. They just couldn't come out of it. So, my Final Four pick now, I'm picking North Carolina against Gonzaga, and I've got North Carolina winning.
Say it one more time.
I've got North Carolina beating Oregon, and I've got Gonzaga beating whatever it's called. I can't even think about it. South Carolina.
And then the champion, you have?
I have North Carolina at this point. But, again, anybody who picked this Final Four bracket was not doing it based on skill and knowledge.
Well, I mean,
Let's put it that way.
What is skill and knowledge anyway? Maybe you see something. Maybe what is skill? It's just,
don't forget. Last year I predicted the NBA playoffs entirely correct. I think, and I think the year before I did too as well. It's not hard to predict teams in a 7-game series. It's not, because 95% of the time the best team comes out on top in a 7-game series. It's how it works. Barring an unforeseen injury, the best team comes out on top. I think last year the only series I got wrong was Clippers-Blazers, and Chris Paul was out, along with Blake Griffin. And I don't even know if I got that wrong, because Chris Paul may have been out before the series.
It's just a total crapshoot, you're saying. Just totally unpredictable.
It's a total crapshoot. It's a total crapshoot.
And I guess that's why people like it so much, right?
What?
That's why people like it so much, right?
Yeah. But you want to see the best teams usually get to the finals. It creates for the best games. I remember when we had Butler and UConn. It wasn't very good back in 2011. It just was. Kemba Walker was great. However, it wasn't the most exciting game ever. It was a great ending, but it wasn't the two best teams in the country. I'll tell you that. It's fun to see when the best teams are always in it. Don't forget, Gonzaga only lost 1 game this year. They beat Arizona during the regular season. Gonzaga was a hell of a team. I think they're very underrated. I think they really are. Which I think Gonzaga is still one of the 4 best teams in the country. They were number 1 seed for a reason. And I think North Carolina is an excellent team too, but I see North Carolina closing it out.
Okay. Well, I can't say that's a outlandish thing to anticipate at all.
So, when you look at it, when it's all said and done, the NBA is much easier to predict than a 7-game series. I go through the process right now, and if you create a bracket, odds are that 50% of people, not 50, maybe 35% of people will pick the NBA playoffs entirely correct on some years, because it's just easy. You know what's going to happen. The NBA is much more when it's 7 games, it's much more predictable than it is. And again, 35% is still not even close. I heard probably 10%. But what I'm saying is, though, it's much easier to predict just in 7 games. And again, would the best team prevail? If it was even a 3-game series in college basketball, would the best team prevail probably 80% of the time, 90% of the time? Yes. If these were 3-game series, I guarantee the Final Four would look entirely different.
3-game series. Okay, yeah, because talent would win out more often than just the random upset. Plus, they're kids.
Yeah.
Plus, and the best players only play for a year, 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. It's travel. You're not on your home floor. You're on a neutral court. Which I'm not saying is it's not that it's not fair at all. It's not unfair because both teams are playing on a neutral court. However, what I'm saying is though, it's just it's just one game. There's upsets all the time. We've watched great teams like the Golden State Warriors last year lose to the LA Lakers by 20-something points. A 73-win team last year got blown away by the LA Lakers on a Sunday afternoon last year. And if that would have been the one game, would you have told me any day that the Lakers were better than the Golden State Warriors? Absolutely not.
Any given Sunday.
However, on that one Sunday, they destroyed because Curry went 1 for 13 from three-point land, and Klay Thompson went 1 for 10. I mean, and Marcelo Huertas outplayed Steph Curry. Are you kidding me? Is that going to happen? 99 times out of 100, though, Golden State would have won that game. However, they didn't. The one time they lost.
Okay. Well, here's an update. LeBron James is injured, by the way. So.
How bad?
LeBron James was down on the floor for more than a minute after a delayed reaction to David Lee elbow in his upper back. He slowly walked to the Cleveland bench after finally getting up. So he's out. Let's see how long that is. It just continues. I mean, LeBron was saying that this has been one of the most challenging seasons. Sometimes you wonder if he's saying it just to motivate. But I don't know what's going on behind that. Does it feel like something's going on behind the scenes? Something's happening. Like there's something happening.
It does. I
don't know what it is. Can you get a feel for? Are you able to still talk to anybody inside the inner circle and figure out like what? Okay, what is it?
Yes, I could. I could.
Can you do that for me?
Time to do it.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to put you on that if you would be so kind, and we'll try to anonymously.
I'll have an answer for Brian. If you ever put me on an assignment and I've not been able to come up with the answer for you,
I got to tell you, you got a pretty pristine track record when I put you on assignment, Zach.
If you've ever called me up off the record and said, listen, we've had, I remember one time you go, hey, can you find out why Alonzo Trier hasn't played?
Yeah.
I got you an answer within 20 minutes. I had an answer for you.
It was instantaneous.
Arizona Athletic Department found it out in 20 minutes. 30 days later, ESPN comes out with the report that he was suspended for PEDs. Did we not announce it on the show a month before?
Yeah, we did. Of course we did.
I mention things all the time. If you've ever put me on assignment, I've always gotten you an answer.
All right. Well,
that is one thing I've always come through, and you can vouch for that. Anything basketball related, if you've ever put me on assignment. When I told you the Cavaliers were not taking Alex Len, and I refuted the Chris Sheridan report on the show, that they would not be taking Alex Len with the number 1 overall pick. I remember going over that too with you saying, I don't know who it is because I can't get that. However, I am 100% sure it's not going to be Alex Len with the pick.
Yeah, and we knew about a year and a half in advance that LeBron was really coming back, that it was all put together. And it was piece by piece we started figuring out the puzzle. You and I were figuring this out together. It took a while. And we reached
I was calling you off going, this is what I'm hearing today.
Uh-huh.
This is what I've heard. This is coming out of his inner circle. He's coming back. And I said, just hold on. We talked about it the day the Cavaliers signed Andrew Bynum to the contract in free agency, how it set up the Cavs perfectly. And when they traded for Luol Deng, how it didn't affect anything because Luol Deng could be a free agent at the end of the year. The Cavaliers set these up perfectly, knowing you had to know their moves were set up. The Cavaliers not addressing the small forward position until year number 4 with the guy who was going to be a free agent at the time was the backup plan for LeBron. And then Gordon Hayward became plan B. Gordon Hayward became plan A. LeBron was plan 1A. So God forbid they couldn't get LeBron. It was going to be Gordon Hayward or Chandler Parsons.
Yeah, I think we did better. I like plan A.
I like Plan A too. However, what I'm saying though is, anytime we've ever had to go down on something and figure it out, we've been able to get an answer. I've never had an issue with getting an answer on anything. I just feel like this one particularly is going to be more tricky because it's just what is wrong. I think the Cavaliers are asking themselves the same question: what is wrong? I turn them on and I go, there's no defense. They don't guard the perimeter. They're not stopping anything. They're not stopping any drive to the hole. Every team looks faster than they are. I've never said that about the Cavs.
And we don't know why.
I'll find out. I'll get you an answer this week.
All right.
But I can't guarantee it's going to be the one that I normally get for you because if I don't know what particular, again, I can name everything they're not doing right, not everything they're doing up to standard. But the question is why they're playing like this. I don't know if I can get you an answer on that one. I will try, but we've always been able to come up with a situation before on why. So, and what's going to happen next. We've always been right about it. So we'll see.
All right. Well, good. We have something to look forward to now. We have an assignment. We're going to send Zach undercover. He's gonna go work for. Let's see. You'll go work with Aramark or something to go launder the clothing after the game, and you'll just be pushing the cart.
Brian, it's a phone call away.
I know. I'm telling a joke for the people that don't know you. I know that you're like James Bond in your lair. You talking to your wristwatch, and all of a sudden a hologram appears in front of you, and you got all the info.
Well, I'm gonna go meet with Deep Throat this week and then get you an answer.
I will not make the joke that I felt like making right there. Yes.
I'm not talking about the reporter either.
No Woodward, no Bernstein. I'm just talking Deep Throat. Anyway, yeah. All right, well, good. You're on assignment. We got to figure this out. We got to get this ship righted right away because
They've got 2 weeks to right the ship. The end of the season is in 2 weeks.
The Cavs, look, there is no reason the Cavs should be playing this badly. But we've seen them do it before, and they go through their funks and they come back. So here's to hoping that they're saving the best for later. But it's a tough ride right now. We'll see if North Carolina comes out on top. The Raiders are going to Vegas, baby, Vegas. Does that mean, final question, Zach, does that mean we're going to see, do the Browns play the Raiders and the Rams next year? Is that what's happening or no?
I think the Browns are at Oakland in 2018.
Okay. Gotcha.
The Browns are not playing the Rams until we played the Rams their last season in St. Louis.
No, which
was 2015.
We're playing them this year.
The Browns did not come to L.A. to play the Rams until 2023.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Hang on. I don't think that's accurate. Let's take a look at this.
Every 8 years we play a game. We play an away game against the Rams. 2015 we played them.
Okay, Zach might know his stuff, but still, I don't want to believe it. I'm hoping. Okay,
We played the Rams in Cleveland in 2019.
Oh, here you go. Click to see the full schedule. All right. Or is it San Diego? That's who we're going to see.
The Browns are in San Diego next season.
But no. Hold on. It says versus San Diego, so that would be at home.
No, it's in San Diego.
What am I looking at? Cleveland Browns set 2017. No, that's this year.
The Browns are at San Diego this year. I'm 99% sure.
It says they're at Buffalo on the 18th. They're versus San Diego the day before Christmas, and then they're at Pittsburgh the day after.
Brian, you're looking at 2016 season.
It says Hang on. I'm going to do this. We got to get this figured out.
Our away games, Brian, I'm looking right now. Our away games this year: Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Houston, Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, and the Los Angeles Chargers.
The Los Angeles Football Chargers.
2000. It only on Browns.com. It only goes up to 16. It doesn't have what weeks are playing what team.
All right.
For 17 yet. However, they are facing the Chargers away. I'm sending you a screenshot right now to your phone.
Okay, well, yeah, we've talked about going to that game, and we'll still keep that on the books, and we'll get that sorted out in the meantime.
With you, so.
I know, so let's get the tickets. Let's get it locked in, yo. All right, we're out of time. Zach, thank you so much for your time. Go behind the scenes and get that phone call made so we can figure out what's wrong with the Cavs so we can get it fixed. And
sounds good.
Yeah, let's have a good Final Four, and we will talk with you again soon.
Check messages right now.
All right, I'll be checking my text messages right now. Wait, do you
right
find
there, away opponents, LA Chargers.
All right, you have a Gotta run. Thank you, Zach. And for everybody out there listening, I appreciate you. I love you. We'll talk again soon. Take care. Peace.